With Pochettino, Jadon Sancho and Harry Kane, Manchester United will win the Premier League or the Champions League within 3 years. It's a Friday. Start with the questions. Elijah Thomas is up first. So, Angelina, if the Prem goes on, which it's pretty up in the air at the moment whether it will or not, who is likely to gain the most ground?
Right. There's a few, because you think about injuries, you think about signings, but I am going to actually go with Newcastle, because I feel like it's been a bit of a rocky road for them. They've had really good results, like they beat United, they drew against City, then things went a little bit south, and I think recently they've managed to kind of rally a bit. They've got quite a few decent transfers in January. I think it was Danny Rose, the guy from Inter Milan.
Lazaro,
Lazaro. And I think they're currently in 13th, and I feel like they will be able to get a few wins, because some of their fixtures, I had a little look and it was, when I was looking at all the fixtures the other day, they've still got like Aston Villa and Watford and teams that they should really be beating. So I would like to think that they can, especially looking at the teams around them in the table, the 13th, I reckon they could gain a little bit of momentum and finish quite strong.
I'm actually getting something similar. I think Everton.
Yeah.
For similar sort of reasons, I think Carlo Ancelotti's definitely got them playing better. They're not playing at their best. I will always be critical of Everton considering how much money they've spent. But, not as in I want them to do badly. I just think they should be doing better. But certainly with Calvert-Lewin on good form as well, I think Everton can make up some ground. Also, I think the most interesting thing, because we know the title's done, the most interesting would have been to see how Sheffield United and Wolves could have finished the season. Like, if they could have actually made a serious Champions League challenge or even got into the Europa League spots, that would have been cool.
Yeah, definitely with Sheffield.
Right, next up is you.
So, your first question is from AZ. So, should Barcelona do a rebuild around Fati or someone else and invest in youth academy and youth players for the future? Or spend big money to bring in world-class players to replace Messi once he retires?
I think this is the issue. When Messi retires, Barca are going to have to bring in someone big.
Yeah.
Because you can't... Yeah, you can't just be like, okay, well, here's the next 17-year-old off the production line, because they're not going to have another Messi again. Like, you're going to have to maybe bring in one or two massive players to even show the rest of the Barcelona team, to show the fans, to show everyone that they are serious. They have thought this through about replacing Messi, and they are still an ambitious club who are bringing in the best players at the top.
Yeah.
On the flip side, personally, I don't think that major clubs, and in some way, I don't think major clubs are built around one player. And if they were, we aren't going to see them built around the likes of Messi again. I think Barcelona is such an exceptional case with Lionel Messi, who epitomises everything that Barcelona are on the pitch. But I don't think you'd have one player like Fati and say, okay, we'll build around him. Like,
no, I think... Yeah,
sorry, go on.
I agree. No, I agree. I think they're going to have to spend a certain amount of money, 100%. You can't, because it's not even like, I don't know, the club or anything. It's just like the number of goals. Like, they need to replace the number of goals. And it's great having youth players, and it's great getting kind of like younger players from your own academy in, but you can't take that risk of losing, 30, 40, however many goals.
Yeah, they need to look at Real Madrid. They lost Ronaldo's goals and they didn't replace his goals. But you can't just build around someone like Fati. You need strength in every position, whether that's, if someone's from the academy is good enough, great. If they're not, you need to be buying the best players in the world if you're Barcelona. It's not to say they don't have talented players in their academy. It's just that, maybe they were fortunate in a generation like that came through at the same time. There happened to be positions available. They were good enough. They got the experience. But, to ask any academy to consistently bring through these guys, even Ajax don't do it. They bring through players before De Ligt and De Jong. I'm trying to think of the last Ajax proper youth player. So I'm not talking, about them selling the likes of Luis Suarez, but properly bought through a quality player. You're looking at the beginning of the decade with Vertonghen and Eriksen at Spurs. And, they haven't gone on to win any Champions League or league titles outside of Ajax. So I'm not exactly you know, they're not at the biggest clubs. They're not certainly reaching levels that Messi did. Right, next up, Simon Rolls said, agree or disagree with these statements? Okay, so if the Champions League season is to be continued, there should only be one leg which be played on neutral soil.
I think for time, I can kind of agree with that, to be honest, because we need to cut the time down, don't we?
When Messi leaves, Barcelona won't win any important trophies for the next few years. I don't know how many a few is. We'll say 3.
Yeah. I don't know, because they're still a very talented team.
Yeah.
And I think they would still do well in like Copa del Rey and competitions like that. So I'd probably disagree. I think they'll still win. Well, they'd at least win one, I'd like to think.
Josip Ilicic would deserve to win the Ballon d'Or if this season is cancelled.
Now, I guess when you think about his stats are pretty similar to Messi and Ronaldo. And as much as I respect them both as players, I would be very excited to see someone else's name kind of winning that trophy. So I would agree with that, because if his stats are very similar, why not?
Yeah, I mean, if the season's cancelled, it would just be on stats, not on trophies won, because there are no trophies to win. I mean, yeah, you make a pretty good case. Right, David Alaba can still improve if he goes to Barca, Real or City.
Yeah, I agree with that. I could see him at any of them. I could see him at City, to be honest. But yeah, I agree with that. I think he'd still do well.
With Pochettino, Jadon Sancho and Harry Kane, Manchester United will win the Premier League or the Champions League within 3 years.
I agree with... I don't know. 3 years? 3 years is a short amount of time.
Yeah, 3 years is short.
With Sancho, I would like to agree. Harry Kane, like, no shade, but like I'm worried about injuries. Like, how often is he going to be injured in 3 years? Pochettino, take him or leave him. But with Jadon Sancho and Rashford, I'll agree with that. I'll be positive for my team.
I think all 3. I think with all 3, you're going to be no worse off.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, we'll go over to United's rivals. O'Hay has said, if Liverpool sign Werner, I think Firmino would have to leave for him to truly fit in. If that happens, where do you see him going?
I actually kind of maybe disagree that Firmino would have to leave if Werner comes in. I see Werner as more of, certainly from the way he's playing at Leipzig, he's a very quick sort of player that can get in behind, move across various positions. Certainly the way that Salah and Mane attack the box from out wide, that's more of a Werner thing. They're so dissimilar that I don't think Firmino would definitely be the one to be sacrificed.
No.
But if he did leave, where do I see him going? Problem is Firmino, he's one of these players I feel like could be found out if he's not in the right system. If someone like Barcelona or Real Madrid or Bayern Munich were to buy him and say, you're our main guy, you're getting 30 goals a season because you're a striker, that might not be his bag. He might not fit in there. I mean, obviously they wouldn't. If they know him, they know he's not going to fit. But yeah, you can only see him leaving Liverpool for a top club. I would actually hedge a bet and say Barcelona.
Yeah.
I feel with their history of, I mean, certainly not now with a 4-4-2, but with a player who's very good at linking midfield to the attack. The way that Messi used to play the false 9 there. Very creative with the likes of Firmino, who's incredibly hard-working as well. Yeah, I'd say Barca out of all of them, out of all the big clubs, because, I mean, he's not going to drop down a level. He's one of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah.
For sure. Right, Alex Campbell next for Angelina. Who do you think United should buy next transfer window, and what dead wood should be sold?
Oh, dead wood. I could talk about quite a few United players that need to leave, but
let's stick to the ones coming in.
Yeah, I think coming in, there's a couple of areas, but I think top priority would be Sancho. I think that right side, United have craved that for so long. You think about the signings that United have actually made in that position. I mean, Antonio Valencia, and then after him, I think you maybe had Di Maria, but he didn't always play on that right side. He kind of drifted into the centre a bit. The players that you had on that side Lingard, Mata,
Alexis
Lukaku
Sanchez.
at one point. Yes, Alexis Sanchez, which is just a disaster. So I think that right side United really do crave a player. I would kick out Jesse Lingard. I could go on and on and on. I just think he's not performing. It's not working. Everyone keeps saying he's a young kid. He's actually 27, so see you later. And then I would probably go for one more player I'd bring in, maybe Grealish. But this would be on the condition that Pogba's leaving. Again, this is a debate I could get into, but I just feel like it's getting a bit awkward. He clearly don't want to be there. Fresh start for both would be the best. Wish him well. As much as he's an amazing player, I just don't think it's worked.
Do you think Grealish is too similar to Bruno Fernandes, though? Like more of an attacking midfielder, not like a central midfielder like Pogba?
Yeah, I guess so. I just feel like they might work quite well together. And I just think that Grealish has got, obviously, recent things in the news aside, I think he's got quite a good attitude that would fit with United. He's got that, not an attitude in a bad way, but he's got that little something about him, I don't know, and I just feel like that would fit in really well. But again, that would be on the condition that Pogba leaves. If Pogba stays and everyone's committed to it working, then great, but I just don't think it will.
Yeah. No, yeah, Grealish has got that like bite though. He's got a bit of arrogance about him, but it's in a good way. Like he's confident.
I feel like United, I know he can go off the rails a little bit, but I feel like Solskjaer as well would be a good manager for him to kind of keep him on that straight and narrow.
No, I agree actually.
Yes.
I'm down with Grealish.
Next question is from Apollo X. So, prime Lewandowski or prime Van Persie?
Oh, prime Lewandowski. He's scored like not 10 times. I'm over exaggerating, but a hatful more goals than Robin van Persie did in his career for sure. Probably in a year. I can't remember what Van Persie's best goal scoring season was. I believe it was 30 goals for Arsenal in 2009-10 or 8-9. And Lewandowski does 30 goals a season. This was in the league, by the way, in the league for fun. You could say Bundesliga maybe not as strong, but my God, he's been doing it for like 8-9 years now. So yeah.
Yeah, that consistency is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not saying Van Persie's a bad player.
No.
At all. A wonderful left foot, unbelievable footballer. But yeah, Lewandowski's another level, I think. Right, some quick fires for you. From Luigi Zanoni, who has said, in form, Gigi Buffon. Oh wow, all of these are in form, by the way. So this is like playing their best. Gigi Buffon or Iker Casillas?
Oh, that is so hard because, I would probably just go with Buffon because, I don't know, I've got a bit of a soft spot for him. But both amazing goalkeepers, but yeah, Buffon.
Okay, so Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, Zidane.
Got to go with Ronaldo.
Aguero or Lewandowski?
As much as it pains me as a United fan, I would have to say Aguero.
I knew it.
That kills me inside.
Neymar or Mbappe?
Mbappe, less injuries.
De Ligt or De Jong? They're two different players. That's pretty harsh.
Yeah, maybe De Ligt. Just because I think it's pretty cool, like the whole being such a young captain. How do you rate that?
Marcus Rashford or Mason Greenwood?
Got to be Rashford.
I feel like Greenwood could have a higher ceiling, like could be better than Rashford, but at the moment, Rashford's way better.
At the moment, yeah. Right, your next question is from Remy12. So, which team is, in your opinion, the most entertaining at the moment? So that's before the Corona lockdown.
I actually was really enjoying PSG, and that sounds like a terrible thing to say, because apparently everyone's against them and Neymar. But Neymar was in phenomenal form, obviously, aside from the injuries that he picked up towards the end. He started the year on absolute fire, Neymar.
Yeah.
PSG were brilliant. They had the blip against Dortmund and then turned it around in the second leg. I thought they were super exciting to watch. I thought Dortmund as well. Dortmund were good at stages, although they seem to have this knack of conceding one too many goals for someone who should be challenging for the title. One too many goals. But then, again as well, maybe not the most entertaining, but United were in a really good run of form. For sure. For pure entertainment value as well, I'd say Atalanta too. Because, I mean, you know, what they're doing in the Champions League, we spoke about Elicic earlier as well. They were super entertaining, even though sometimes defensively they were a bit in a bit of a mess. But There's a few teams there. Cool. Next up then, Jungle King said, do you think Neuer should stay and retire in Bayern Munich or should he leave?
I feel like he's going to stay and retire. I mean, I know there's rumours about him leaving, especially with the signing of, is it Newbell?
Yeah,
I'm saying that name right. Yeah, but I kind of feel like that is more a way for him to create a bit of a replacement, like for this guy to come in, kind of learn from him, develop, and then when he's ready to kind of hang his gloves up, there's a replacement at the team that he's clearly got so much respect and love for. I also feel like, I do feel like he's just going to stay and kind of see it out there. He's won the Champions League, he's won numerous titles. I think he'll maybe want to win another Champions League with Bayern. I think they do. Obviously, he's only like 34. I'm sure he's still got quite a few more years. I think he can win another Champions League with them. So I feel like he's going to stay.
That's always the thing, I think, as well, that he'll want to win another Champions League, but which other Champions League contender needs a goalkeeper?
That's the thing as well, because I know there was rumours with Chelsea, and it's like, they're not there yet. Do you know what I mean?
The thing. So, that's a good move to Chelsea in the Premier League. But in terms of Champions League winners, there's Ter Stegen is fine at Barca.
Yeah.
Potentially Juventus if they want to get rid of Buffon, although he's there for another year. He's not, Man City are fine with Edison, Liverpool with Alisson. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Maybe. No, actually, Thibaut Courtois has been brilliant for Real this season. So, I can't see him moving to another Champions League favourite, so it'd be kind of pointless moving.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, are you ready for your quick fire? So this is from Sankaran CB. So this is a Spurs and United quickfire. Answer wisely. Yeah. So Bruno Fernandes or Lo Celso?
Ooh, they've both had massive impacts on their team. I haven't watched as much of Fernandes because he hasn't been in the Premier League as long. Ooh, I'd just go for Fernandes. Only just. I think Lo Celso will still be brilliant though.
Yeah. Lloris or De Gea?
De Gea, hands down. Lloris is awful.
Ali or Fred?
Anyone but Ali, so yeah, Fred. Fred, definitely. I mean, I don't even think Fred's that good, but Ali has been worse than worse this season.
Vertonghen or Maguire?
Again, Vertonghen's really dropped off this season, so probably Maguire.
Okay. I always get this name wrong. Bergwijn. Have I said that right?
I think they've written it wrong.
Yeah.
Or Dan James. That's a difficult one. I mean, Bergwijn's, a Dutch international, and James is a young kid who's done well at United. It's so hard to judge. I'll go with Dan James, though.
Okay. And finally, Kane or Rashford?
Kane.
Fair enough.
I mean, everyone's going to say this and that, but Kane's the captain of England and one of the best goal scorers in the Premier League, if not the best. So, God, I can't wait for the comment section on this one. So much fire. I'm not saying that Rashford's bad at all, by the way. No. Everyone's like, oh, you're biased. I'm not. Rashford's also a phenomenal footballer. Just when you've put up the numbers that Harry Kane has over the last 6 years, then I think him and Aguero are the only ones in that conversation. Right. Oh, it's you up next. Sorry. I'm too busy waffling on. You again.
Me again? Is this... Okay. Right. So this is from Alex McDonough, if I've said that right. Best year in terms of football in your lifetime?
Is it like my favourite or the best? Wow. Actually, I was having this discussion the other day with Nico over on our German channel. 2004.
Okay.
The Euros in 2004, the quality of footballers in the teams was just phenomenal. Like Italy, France, Spain, Holland, England had the best players in the world, all in the same team. Absolute legends. That was amazing. That was incredible. Like, even though obviously, England crashed out on penalties at the Euros, I just think that was a phenomenal year for football in general. In terms of recent memory, one of my favourites as a Spurs fan, last year was good because of the Champions League final, but the rest of it was pretty shocking. 2017 was brilliant. Last year at White Hart Lane, Tottenham were incredible. Also, I will go as well with like, I'll give you loads of answers here. The peak Messi and Ronaldo was like 2012 or 13.
Yeah.
When Messi scored like 90 in a calendar year.
And there was a lot of El Clasico drama.
Yeah, there was. Wasn't there like 6 El Clasicos in a season or something stupid?
Something ridiculous like that, but I was just lapping it up. It was brilliant.
Yeah, so whenever that was, 2013 maybe. That was a good year for football as well.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, next up. Agnick Potter has said, if you could swap the soccer ball with any other sports ball for one game, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't say a bowling ball either.
Oh, I don't know. I would probably say, and there's no actual real thought process behind this, just because, I don't know, I guess they bounce like a tennis ball maybe.
I would love to see that because you'd see really skillful players with a tennis ball.
Yes.
Like in Brazil, they play a lot of futsal and there's really like small balls, and apparently they do a lot of training with tennis balls and they're younger too. I just think that'd be so awesome to see a full-size game with a tennis ball.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Or a rugby ball.
Last question.
Yes.
This is from Sean Whitten. Simpsons or Family Guy?
You can't make me decide between the two.
I know you like Family Guy.
I do. Like, this half of my life, Family Guy. The first half of my life, Simpsons. I can't decide between the two.
That's really tough.
What would you say?
I really don't know, because The Simpsons, I was like obsessed with The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I had every single box set DVD. But now, like Family Guy, I have probably watched every episode of Family Guy. So, this is it's too hard.
Too difficult.
Family Simpsons, I don't know.
Perfect. The crossover episode between both of them.
Yes.
That's what you're going for. Right. Thank you so much. Of course, you guys at home, thanks so much for the questions that you can leave every single Wednesday night in the community tab on YouTube. Let us know your answers, Simpsons or Family Guy, or answer to any of the questions in the Q&A. Thanks so much for joining me on Skype, Angelina. We should do this next Friday for another Q&A.
Why not?
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to keep up with all the latest stuff we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, we'll see you guys later.